Hello there, my name is Garrett of Reasonless Productions, and today I'm going to show you guys, for those who are not, artists or don't know, so a little bit of a tip slash trick that I've learned over the years. I learned this from an artist on YouTube named Will Terrell. If you want any more art tutorials, better art tutorials, go check him out on YouTube, Will Terrell. He's who I learned. I'm not the greatest artist, but I mean, I know some tips and tricks. But before I even get into that, I want to show you something on how to, like, for those of you that are, you sit there and you draw on Photoshop and such, and you want, without having to buy a new brush, you want to, make, pictures, or you want to draw, but have it look like an actual pencil. And I've actually discovered a way to do this. Now, I'm not, okay, Windows, piss off. But I'm not entirely sure if this is the only way to do it, but this is the way I've found out that works. So, now this is the pen you want to start with, the basic kind of light round brush. That's the one, to start with because it gives it a nice even grading on it. But, normally you see it's just black like that, and if you say you want to do a sketch, it just kind of looks crappy for what you want to do for a sketch. And plus, like, unlike a real pencil, adding pressure means nothing on this. But if you go into your brush tab over here, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, because on my screen it's all flickering. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you can, good job. Okay, so you come into here, and you click on Shape Dynamics. That'll turn it on automatically when you click it. And for most people this will be off, but I kind of just unclicked all these just for the sake of starting this tutorial. But if you have say like a drawing tablet, like a anything from Wacom, a Cintiq, an Intuos, something like that, you want to set it to you want to set it to pen pressure. I know you can do pen tilt, but I don't know what that does, and nor have I really cared to know. So, that just basically applies pressure. So like, you start off light, and then you add pressure, it gets darker, and then you lose pressure, and you see what I mean? It just evens out as you add or remove pressure from the pen. But, so there, you got that. You got the I don't know what to call it, but you have that. But, that could be good enough, but you kind of want the look of it, like, as if you were actually drawing with a basic 2B pencil. And so the next thing you want to turn on is scattering. Now, this one just kind of gives it the look of it, like the texture. You can't tell now, but it does. And you want to set this to pen pressure as well. I don't know what about the count jitter. I'm actually going to test that. Yeah, no, I don't see anything different, but I think I'll leave it on. Next thing you want to set is texture. You kind of want to set this to linear height, and then set this one to the farthest one back, the gray one right here. You can have this set as whatever you want, but this is my preferred thing. So you got these three on, and now, when you draw, it actually looks like pencil. You apply, it gets darker and darker, but then you kind of draw light, and it just kind of looks like you're drawing. It looks kind of like you're, at the lightest, it looks like you're drawing with an HB pencil, but then if you draw even lighter, you could get up to a 2B. But even then, if you press hard enough without breaking your nib, I think the hardest, if I pressed, like, pretty hard without breaking the nib on my pencil, like, you could get up to a 2B to 4B pencil shading. For those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, look up the different, pencil shades for basic pencils. There's a whole list of them, but the ones I know are the lightest being 2H, then it goes HB, B, 2B, 4B, and 6B. And I'm looking at my pencil case. But yeah, so, you just kind of got your, now new pencil brush. I know there's a way you can save it to where, these settings are saved, but I don't know. But back to what we were actually gonna do. This is a trick I learned from Will Terrell on basically how to, basically, when you're coming back to drawing from after a while, like say you're all rusty for it, like you haven't drawn in quite a long time, maybe, you know, schoolwork's gotten in the way, maybe you ran out of paper or something, here's a way to kind of, you know, get back into it. At least this is what I learned. So basically what you try and do, say you draw a random shape, say like that. Now I know that looks dirty, but, and then you try and make a, I always go with making faces, but you know, most people would pick this right here as the nose. But, you know, try not to go for the obvious. Try and, I don't know, let's make this his head. So, you know, and then kind of just make him an old man. Or, like, one of them, I don't know. We'll just give him big lips. But now, you kind of get the idea. Just kind of mess with it and make little characters out of them. Like, let's make a shape like, this. Let's make a shape like this. So, you know, you could make this however you want, but let's make this guy screaming. That's actually kind of creepy. So, you know, you got that guy screaming. Let's try... Most times when you make the shapes, try and close your eyes for a little bit, just to see where it goes. You know, and then, I mean, you can do it with the nose if you can't, like, come up with anything else. But, you know, try and stray away from that sort of thing. He looks like a character that'd be on Beavis and Butthead. But, you know, then you just kind of practice with this until you get back into the swing of things, drawing-wise. You know, kind of like... So, like, I'm gonna Control Z out of that. So, like, you know, let's just draw a regular face. Let's just, give him a big nose. Just a regular mouth. Let's give him spiky hair, as if he was going Super Saiyan. See? And then you kind of just... I don't know why I'm doing this, I'm just trying to segue into the end of this. Don't know why my computer is lagging. But you see what I mean? And then just kinda call this guy Elvis Dude. Don't know why I'll call him Elvis Dude, I just will. But, yeah, so, there you have it. Just kind of a little way to, kind of get some practice in when you're rusty from drawing. You know, there are several ways you can do this, and you could just go straight back into it headstrong, but this is the way I kind of do it, just to get back into the swing of things. But, anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more art tutorials from me, let me know. If you want to see anything else from, you know, me on, you know, this channel, let me know. Photoshop, what are you doing? But, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next art tutorial. Goodbye!